Hello everyone, my name is Michael and welcome to the fourth video in this React.js tutorial series. In this video, I'll be going through what are components and props and how you should use them and everything else you should know about them. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So what are components? Well, components lets you split the UI into multiple independent reusable pieces. So components are like JavaScript functions. They can accept multiple inputs called props and they return React elements. So let me delete what we had here. And what I can do here is create another function and a function called welcome, which can take props, and there we go. So it will take the props and it will say hello, the name that we will give it. So to use the component welcome, for example, we will do that and we will put welcome and we will close it. And that's how you use welcome. So let me run the app. So we will go on terminal, new terminal, and type npm run start. And there we go. So as you'll see, it says hello, but it's missing the name. So to give the welcome a prop, it goes like that. So let's say we have a prop called name. We will use the same name for the name. So we'll copy what we have typed here in here. And now to give it a value, all we have to do is do equal and then to a string for now, we can use a string and we can replace the string with Michael. Now as you'll see right here, it says hello Michael. Now let's put that to the side. Now, like I said, those components are reusable. So what we can do is copy this one right here and reuse it. And this time we can do Alex. So if I do that, as you'll see, it renders two components. One is used like Michael and one with Alex. So another thing you can do with components is use a component inside a component. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So we will create another function called, let's say, age. Now again, let's pass it the props and there we go. So we have the age and it returns an h1 tag with the age. So what we can do here is use the age inside the welcomes. Actually, let's change that a bit. So let's do a div. Let's put an h1 tag and then let's put another one h1 tag right here called the age. And now we can use the age inside the welcome the same way we used it inside the app. So we will put this right here. So age, the age. Actually, we can pass again props like that. So we will take the props from welcome, pass it on age, and from age show it like that. So here now what we can do is add an age and we will put a number. So let's make it 20 and for example let's make it 30. And now if I open my browser, as you'll see, it says hello Michael, age 20, hello Alex, age 30. And again, you can use them as many times as you want. So even if I like show 100 of them or something, that works. So if I open my window, you can see multiple of them. And now that's also useful if you have a list and you want to map that list and show multiple components. So I'll create a list. Let's define it inside the function. Now let's call it numbers. Const numbers equal to a list of numbers like that, of 10 numbers. Now let me delete those ones right here. Delete those as well because we will not be using them. Now let me create a new component called function and let's name it number. And this number will take some props and something like that. Just let's do h1. And for example, what we can do is the number is and the number. Now we can put JavaScript. So we can do numbers.map. And if you don't know what map does yet, it works like a for loop. And I will go through that in the next videos. So if you don't know what it does, it returns something for each element in an array. So have that in mind and I will explain in more detail in future videos. So for each element now, for each number, we will return number and we will give it the number. And now if I open this site, it will say the number is 1, 2, 3, and it will generate all of them pretty much immediately. Now lastly, what I want to show you is how you can put this function called number inside another file, because as you will see from other videos as well, usually what we do is we create another file called components, and inside of here we put a different file for each component. So we can have a file called number.js. So basically, to make it easier to work with, we put them in different files. So how you can do that, you ask? Well, as you saw, I created another folder. You don't have to, but to make it look nicer, I created another folder just for components, and I created a JS file called number. So what we can actually do is copy this function, delete it from app.js, and that will give you an error. That's okay. It says number is not defined. That's fine. Again, we will import it in a bit and I'll show you how you can do that. But first, let's go back to number.js and paste this function. Now we are almost done. What we have to do now is basically export this component so we can use it. So to do that, all you have to do is use module.exports number, and that's it. Now let's name it a bit different. So let's do show number, because number by itself, we cannot use that as the name of our module because it's already a module from JavaScript. So we cannot name it number. So we have to name it something else. Now let's go back to app.js. And now to use this file, all we have to do is, like on the app.css, import it. So we will import, but instead of giving the file location immediately, first we will give it a name, show number, and then we will do from, and what from represents is the file location. So we are telling, okay, import show number from, and now we will define the file location. So we will do dot because it's on the same path, then slash, then we will go to components, then slash, and then we will go to number.js, and there we go. So we basically give it the path of number of the number.js file, and now all we have to do is just replace the number with show number. And it says our attempted import error does not contain a default export. Okay, so we have to make a slight change, and instead of doing that, that's the wrong method, we have to do export default function. That's it. So what we can do is use export default function and then show number, or what we can do is do it right here and then put the name of the function, and it works the same. So either you can do it immediately by doing export default function show number, or you can put it down here like I did right here, which says export default show number, and it works the same. So that's basically it. Now if we go back and go to the website, as you will see, it works normally. And if I refresh, again it works. So that's it for this video. Hit that like button if you enjoyed it, subscribe and hit that bell notification so you don't miss my next video on state and life cycle we will do on React. So yeah, see you in the next video.